much, get ready. We not for the kids, it's all Kelly. We reppin' the culture before belly. On the lower side since they rock Pelly. Kev in the spot, straight chillin'. Zach already stepped in the building. Dre always ready and willing. Oldheadz of the podcast, straight killin'. Top billin'. Straight dealin'. Cold chillin', what's missing in CHH, we feelin'. Oldheadz Podcast.
So what's up, y'all? This is DeAndre, man, and I got Zach and I got Kevin in the building. This is Oldheadz Podcast, where the legends get their airplay, and we just been talking about a lot of different things about why we fell in love with CHH, but you know, we want to continue on and talk about our favorites in CHH, but that's not even CHH. Even what the term didn't even use CHH. When CHH, when did that come up?
Man, CHH probably came up like
last 10 years.
Well, I think it's even been more recent than that because before that it was like Triple H, like Holy Hip Hop.
Yeah,
I remember
Holy Hip Hop.
Yeah.
So, back then, when I was listening to it in the 90s, it was called gospel rap.
I was about to say, I first knew of gospel rap, and then I heard Holy Hip Hop.
Man, there's some people who still call it gospel rap.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I probably just stopped calling it gospel rap 5 years ago, if that low.
Yeah, CHH is a very, very current term for it, but we used to call it gospel rap, Christian rap, you name it. Those are the things that we used to call it. So when you're gonna hear us say gospel rap a lot, you're gonna hear us say Christian rap a lot. Maybe every so often we'll say CHH, but you know, it was Holy Hip Hop for us. It was so many different things. Back in the days of the South.com and holyhiphop.com when they, you know, used to, what was the conference that they used to have in Atlanta besides the Holy Hip Hop? It was something else. It was another award show that they used to have.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't know. They had an award show in Texas too.
And then they had a block party in New York because I used to always want to go. You know what I'm saying? So we just talking about all of the legends. We talking about maybe some people that ain't never really got no airplay, but they were favorites because they might have been regional. You know, we just gonna talk about all of these people. We're gonna have interviews coming down the pike. Yeah, I said pike. Coming down the road, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we just want to talk about the legends, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a legend in their own city or a legend just throughout the nation. But we just want to make sure that we give them their airplay. So, first off, I would like to ask Kevin, who is your favorite MC or group? During the time when you was really, really falling in love with it, what was the one that just like solidified it for you?
Okay, so in the last show we mentioned Brothers Grimm, and this is just a correction. One of the things that you and I thought was that Brothers Grimm first, I was about to say CD. I guess it was CD back then. It was we thought it was self-titled, but it wasn't. No. So the title of it was He's Coming. And so for me, I think before Brothers Grimm, it was Lil Rascal. So for me, Lil Rascal kind of stood out amongst, nothing against these brothers, but Prime Minister, Antonius, and Lil Rascal was the three, I listened to, with Grapetree. But for some reason, Lil Rascal is the one who really stood out.
The button on the taper starts to play back caper. BG vapors, trash the urban papers, extra. Check the news and read about it. The rascal making a change, and it's time we talk about it. Number one, so you may know the meaning in full. When you're dead to the flesh, all that's left is a skull. RA is a ray, a luminary source of light. Definition in the Webster, you can check it if you like. For the record, I had to drop the CAL, cause a rascal is a sinner and and the sinner burns in hell. Have you ever seen a dead man walking, then look at this itty bitty trigger shooting scriptures from a book? Now the sight ain't pretty cause I'm covered with blood, but it's a must that I sport it cause the Father I love. Holla glory if you hear me, if you don't I plead grace and mercy on your homie while I'm bending my knee. It's hard to see all the evil that's within, but Jesus set me free, so I run to tell a friend about the water that I drank cause it tastes so sweet. I praise the Lord that he helped me take the shackles off my feet. Ain't it neat?
There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
Help me out, Lord.
There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
See, we be fighting the war, but it ain't against man who I scrap. It's the forces of the evil, so I gotta bust cap. Was coming up, but I had to put it down for the Lord. Cause when the fire floods the earth, tell me who can be hard. Young trickers drop their books for the dope and street fame. Write a rap, now you wanna try to jump in the game. Got me tripping cause priorities be all out of text. A little money in your pocket, disrespecting his next. I'm on the higher learning, and I don't mean college. B.I.B.L.E. the book of life be giving me knowledge from the street, but the blood keep me amongst the elect. I write a rap and the Lord assigns my royalty check, cause I be living
no
proof.
reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
Help me out, Lord.
There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
Now I don't mean to be mean, but your soul ain't clean from that crap you be spitting, you be needing Listerine. Is that the way you live and walking in sin? That's unforgiving, but I'm on another level, busting caps at the devil. And I don't mean the white man, cause I see a bunch of others for the brothers even bother to help me. I be colorblind, I only see the wicked and truth. So if your savior ain't Messiah, then the beast is within you. Why you boast about your pistol study trying to get paid? Beelzebub study barbing to the record you made. You getting played by the devil and you don't even know. Give up your soul for some freaks, a little weed and a flow. Silly nigga, silly nigga. I've been sent to help deliver. Snatch your soul from the faker, give it back to the maker. It's so simple that even the blind can ABC. You're getting close to the flame. Burn your butt like jalapeno, and I hate it for
No
you.
reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
Help me out, Lord.
There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around. There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around. There's no reason to make believe. You know how it's gonna be all this time around.
But I think after Lil Rascal, Brothers Grimm was like my favorite. You know, it was a lot more dark.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these dudes were serious. And I think, you know, listening to them, for some reason, like I've never been a party type dude, and that's not necessarily what Lil Rascal was.
Yeah.
But I think during the time when I was like really serious about my faith, because I was a new believer and just really want to not only, you know, get to know the Lord better through, you know, prayer and reading the word and fellowship of the believers and all of that. I always had this side of me where, man, I I just love the hood.
You was ratchet before ratchet was ratchet.
Right.
Yeah, so I just love it, man. And so these dudes,
You was easty.
these dudes came off like that to me because they would say stuff in their music that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily catch, but it was kind of edgy. You know what I'm saying? It's like they stayed away from, thinking that, man, I don't want to say this because I may get in trouble. These cats would tell it like it was. And so you had that He's Coming CD, but then one of the dudes in the group was my favorite. He went up under the name Crow.
Can you feel it? Then come with me. The song, the dirty yet humble seekers of Christ versus the carbon copies of Corleone, living their lives in the fast lane. Vessels for cocaine, brain bent on having them things. Had to turn them rocks into bread. Watch them in the late night, they pimp tight, sewing like Romans. Can't call them Israelites unless you be stoned. Cause being broke is a joke, so get your cheddar. And forsake the letter, only charms and spells can make it better, as what they claiming. Yet they ain't winning with that sinning. Got them open for the gaming. They be inside of minds with Rolexes. They platinum, being hung by the latest fashions. Dashing through the passions of this pit. Clock it back, let it spit. On his shoulder was a chip, but the bullet tore through his lips in the Exodus. Execution was the end result. Used to be all up inside the sing tone. Now it's close, it's gone, sayonara. Flesh below, no hoes, no coca. No clever comebacks. Just a demon with a battle axe waiting to sever. Take his head clean off his shoulders. Player, you better run to Yahshua. Killer, repent and fall at the mercy of Father. Holla, player, scream. Killer, and ask God to forgive you. You better run to Yahshua. Killer, repent and fall at the mercy of Father. Holla, player, scream. Killer, and ask God to forgive you. Ashes to clashes, that's the dope spots. The old school post-up shop, pushing the crack. Like the evolve, rent they cars, cause their clientele is major. No curse slaying, strictly pushing up off the page. But do you catch a wager that before he go legit, he'll be dead up in the pens, smoking or a snitch? Smell the putrid stench of the body that got hit, rolled up into a carpet and left in the closet of a vacant apartment. Naked, was he alone, or did he call out to Christ to come and please take him home? The lifestyles of the sick and satanic, flamboyant, managed, spiritual damage done to the son who is staying in Trinity to be jiggy. Have you really looked at Pac, Easy, and Biggie? All that fame, easy, 9 and wealth. But still, when the Reaper came, they couldn't do nothing for self. Neither can you. When sin is full born, judgment is blind. So times getting torn, crowns of thorn, blood pouring, strictly for the reason of savage and all who commit treason. Ate the ways of the Homo sapiens and eat. Player, you better run to Yahshua. Killer, repent and fall at the mercy of Father. Holla, player, scream. Killer, and ask God to forgive you. You better run to Yahshua. Killer, repent and fall at the mercy of Father. Holla, player, scream. Killer, and ask God to forgive you. No currency, brother, overcomer, signs and wonders. Before damnation is found underneath the earth. Humble thyself, seek the new birth. Before you burn, from dust you were formed, to the dust you should return. Shekinah, glory, not Shabbat. Lord help me, get out this maze. Police wanna catch me, brothers wanna kill me, sisters want my money, and I can't trust me, I can't sleep, I can't find peace. I've sowed seeds of war. I want true love, but I'm surrounded by these ghetto whores. I need an exit, I'm knocking, please answer, cause this game is eating at my sanity like a cancer. Is there a chance ya? Let a killer repent. Can a hustler find forgiveness? Can a player know the gospel? Can a pimp really live it? Lord, I've been a sinner, wicked and wrong, but I believe that Yeshua died for me, because your love for me is strong. I ask forgiveness in Jesus' name. Lord, send someone to help me stay out of Satan's gang. Free my brain.
Crow.
And so I remember Brothers Grimm came out with He's Coming. After that, they did Letter to the Brothers. And by the time they did Letter to the Brothers, they were on Grapetree, right? So He's Coming wasn't on Grapetree.
Oh, it was on their own label?
I don't know what label was on, but these, those dudes from Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think they went from, they were from Portland, so they were on Grapetree Records in 98 when Letter to the Brothers came out, but in 97 He's Coming came out. But then Crow dropped his solo joint.
Oh.
You remember that?
No, I do not.
Crow dropped a solo joint called Operation Cap. KAP. What y'all think Cap stood for? KAP now.
KAP.
And the whole thing was a concept album. What y'all think it stood for? Y'all want me to tell you?
Yeah.
All right. KAP, Operation Killer Pimp. And so, man, dude, like after that, you really didn't hear too much from him anymore.
Was that on Grapetree?
Probably caught heat for that one, huh?
I don't know if Operation Cap was on Grapetree or not, but basically it was a concept CD that dealt with this young lady who was a prostitute, and it's like, bruh, like some of the things that they were describing that was happening, and then they had these little skits where you had the pimp talking to the prostitute, and then you had at some point, I guess it was Crow, if I can remember, I hadn't listened to the CD in years, but just trying to call the young lady out of that lifestyle and communicate to her that, man, you more than this right here. God created you for a purpose, but man, that thing was raw, bro.
And you was telling me that you loved me. I sure didn't feel love when you hit me. You always pushing on me and shoving me and stuff. What kind of love is that? Promising me these trips around the world. I ain't seen nothing but these four walls in this bed. And that's
Grip
love.
homes, let these beats in your trunk. Majors that bomb. Lifestyle, screen of the funk. Reason to dump on the enemies. Y'all call punks, the ones y'all hunt. Switches, hit the back to the front. Smoking on blunts. Alcohol poured in the cups. Till y'all drunk. Sour like rotten in your gut. Throwing all love. Life got you bound in this gut. Feeling like what? Everybody looking like lust. Who can I trust? If not me, then I guess I rest. Dust to dust. Ashes to ashes I cuss. Feeling that rush. Cuss. Make me hush now rush to the top of my head to the waves. Ponder my ways. I spin them in shame. I'm getting sick.
Why did I make her go through that? Man, it's a cold world out here. I gotta do what I gotta do. Ain't nobody ever showed me no love. You know what I mean? It hurts, but I gotta get paid. This is real life. This ain't tough, baby.
It's on till it's not no more. I'm in a war, can't justify slanging that coke just cause I'm broke. Too many of mine giving them like foe. Life on the road, seen too much, let his breath go. Dead on the floor. Before then, he tested the pen, kept him some quotas. Game lift all in his neck, attracting y'all daughters. Fancy life, player kept close. Went on the stroke, had other players turning their heads like a dead pimp girl. Raw. Out of his car, into the bar, a survivor. Used to smoke crack, now screwdriver, supplier. Place to stay hidden, away from the tripping. Religion on the back of his brain, made a decision. He listens, slurry speech, blurry-eyed and slipping. Should I leave this game of pimping to become a Christian? Switching the sweets, looking down at his feet, feeling the pace of his heart, echo the way the bass beats. He's getting sad.
Man, I could tell she trusted me. Why'd I have to do it like that? Man, the way she looked at me, after I did it like that, it's hard to deal with. I know if there's a guy, I ain't on the right side. If somebody did that to my sister, I'd have to kill him.
He's high, looking all around. Rain is the sound. Nobody wants off the ground. So they all clown. Lost, but act as his fam. Sin by the pound. If Noah was alive right now, we would all drown. I hear her, they busting off rounds. Bodies falling down. I see her on a blasphemous beast in a guarded gown. No, I'm not ready to go. Leave me alone. Jesus, help me, my Lord. Show me the throne. I repent for the lies I've told, the things I've stole. My greed and gluttony, so I should reap what I've sowed. Forgive me for my pride, lust, revenge, and envy. I was a pimp cause I was lazy. Didn't want to work for my money. I'm sorry for the families I've broken. Those girls that died young and the ones that started smoking. The ones that I beat and the verses I enslaved. And even though I've done these things, can I too be saved? I gotta know.
I'm sorry. God is really real. He's really watching everything I do. I might have to change.
This ain't no kind of life.
Man, but I'm making a lot of money, though.
I really gotta change.
All these girls, all this prestige.
Yeah, the money's good.
You know,
This is crazy.
it's real hard to let go of, though, sometimes.
I wanna
I don't know if I was made for the square world. But something just ain't right.
Oh God, are you there?
Man, it's a cold world.
God help me, please.
I would imagine.
I'm like,
Yeah, and so, you know, and if I can remember some of the...
You got that out of a Christian bookstore?
I got it out of a Christian bookstore.
They must not been listening. They must not been listening to their product or Killer Pimp.
They must not. Because these
the
days,
acronym.
yeah, because these days, which I
Yeah.
guess, you know, you got
Regulated.
You know, a friend of ours whose CD was moved from a
That's all I was
famous
about to say.
bookstore because you know he had the word penis and it was in context. It wasn't nothing derogatory about it. But I look at what these dudes had in their music.
I don't know what he said before. Meanest? Like what he rhyming with? I am the meanest.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like
Penis.
that sounds like the 80s right there.
Have you seen this?
No, we don't want to see nothing.
Have you
bro.
seen this?
No, we don't want to see it, bro.
It's the cleanest.
Keep it zipped up. Keep it zipped up, homie. And so for me, it was Lil Rascal, and I just used to love Lil Rascal's flow, and it was Crow from Brothers Grimm, Operation Cap, Operation Killer Pimp.
Man, shout out to Crow. I cannot say I've ever heard his name before, but I know he'll
bro.
appreciate hearing this.
Yeah, bro.
Hope he's still out there killing pimps.
Well,
Metaphorically.
Yeah, we're gonna kill them with kindness and
Right.
heap coals of fire on their head and stuff.
We got a lot of pimps we can kill around Washington Park area, boy.
Yeah, we got a lot of pimps, but we also have a lot of what do you call it? A lot of women don't have pimps around here.
Nah, they just
They pimping themselves.
They pimping themselves,
they just
bro.
do it, yeah.
They go for what they know.
Hey,
I guess it's
$2.
just a daily grind.
For $2.
$2.
I don't know.
All right, so Crow.
Yep.
Who else?
Lil Rascal, those are my two.
Rascal.
You know, and that was like, I graduated high school in 96. And I think it was at the end of 96 where I started being exposed to some of these artists. But it was really 97 when I got into a lot of the music. Matter of fact, when I got saved, I had Fred Hammond in my CD. If I wouldn't listen to rap music, because I was trying not to listen to it, because I didn't want to be affected. You know what I'm saying? So I had Fred Hammond's Spirit of David in my CD for like a whole year. And so it was probably the summer of 97 when I started listening to, just, I guess the gospel rap at that time just kind of infiltrated my collection. And I started buying more and more CDs. But it was really 98 when I left and went to Tuskegee. And it was 99, I remember, when Operation Cap came out. And, all of my friends and, the campus outreach on the summer project was like, man, what were you listening to, man? Did you hear what he just said? And so I remember one line that Crow said. Now, I'm picking up in the middle of the thing, right? In the middle of the line. So you would have to catch the whole thing in context. But he literally said, he was talking about this woman and what she was doing to this man, and how degrading it was. He said this: she gasped on her knees from the seeds he shot in her mouth. And then he said she went to the lavatory. Lavatory is the bathroom, for those of you who don't know. Then he said another ghetto epic of the lost and disrespected victims of those who should have never had kids, but did. She's on the plane, international trick turner, alcohol consumer, cocaine rock burner. So he was spitting lyrics like that. Like, that's the reason why I love them dudes, because I'm like, man, these dudes
That
talking
sound like some
about...
Outkast type lyrics.
Bruh, I'm like, man, these dudes talking about what we see on a daily.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? They weren't trying to sugarcoat it. They weren't trying to hide it. They weren't trying to say, yo, let's just stick to doing this type of rap and only talk about the quote-unquote good news of the gospel and the fact that you can receive salvation.
Yeah.
They was literally talking about some real issues that we saw in our communities growing up. And so I feel like that's why I gravitated towards these guys a lot more, because it seems derogatory, but have you read the scriptures lately? From the Old to the New Testament, how many things in scripture do we absolutely see that would be considered straight up derogatory? Some of the things that the scripture actually describe happening. Yeah. But of course, we're gonna excuse it because it's the word of God. Yeah. But man, these dudes putting stuff into their music that was just raising eyebrows. Like, man, I don't know if you can be a Christian saying that, but they was talking about the issues, that was, and he used to be a pimp.
I mean, oh, okay. And I was going to ask that. I was going to ask because if he was talking about killing a pimp, I was wondering, was he referencing killing himself or dying to himself? Right. And that made perfect sense.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Well, the thing that's interesting about that is that you don't hear people dealing with those issues anymore. Mm-hmm. The issues is more, they said I ain't gonna be nothing. All these haters around me, things that are focused on themselves but not dying to themselves. So that's pretty interesting. That I would love to hear somebody say, I'm the big head killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go kill people with big heads. You know what I'm saying? Big heads mean ego. That ego is just inflated. You know what I'm saying?
Just short, like
I'm the narcissist killer. Like, I would love to hear somebody say that. Like, I might need to come out with an album called The Narcissist Killer.
I remember back then T-Bone. Like, T-Bone was one of my favorites, but I would kind of put Raz and Crow or Brothers Grimm as a total package at the top. But T-Bone had some pretty dope stuff too back then. So, shout out to T-Bone. I can't forget about him. I think he would be one of my top ones. But he also but he was a dude that talked about his haters too. He had that song, Suckers Talk Behind My Back, but when they really in my face, something about, I don't know.
He was killing demons too.
He was killing demons.
Yeah. I remember he got kicked out of church when they found out. He was talking about shooting, capping demons. But they couldn't hear. You couldn't really understand him because he was rapping so fast. So if you're an older person and you just hear demon and then you hear shooting or something, then they was like, you gotta be up out of here.
I think he also had beef with another gospel rap group called Smog. I remember at one line he was like, "Keep my name out the smog, busters." He from Cali and stuff. He called them folks busters and marks and stuff.
Beefing with another
Christian, with another gospel rapper.
Right. It happens, man.
Yeah. Shout out to T-Bone.
Yeah, T-Bone. T-Bone singing reggaeton now.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
On the beach and stuff. Y'all gotta go and
he rap fast enough, like.
He doing reggaeton. Doing reggaeton.
Man, that's crazy.
He's still doing it though.
Hey, he was good too.
Yeah, man. Damn. All right, so for me, so you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Okay,
so for me, I started really kind of just giving it thought. So we all know, like, if you listen to the last podcast, we were talking about, when we first fell in love with CHH. So, the first group I ever heard was Idle King. So the very first tape that I heard was, it just captured my attention, and that was just what I always listened to. So if it wasn't Commission or the Winans on the Return album, we was listening to Idle King. But as the music progressed, and as because there were of course a lot more MCs that were rapping during that time. Idle King was just the first that I heard.
Right.
So when I actually, in doing a little bit more research, went to the Christian bookstore to kind of look into, who was doing what, I stumbled upon a couple of MCs that really, really got my attention. One was a group called Freedom of Soul. The album was called The Second Coming.
From the dusk. Yes. Yo. To the beat. Yo. Freak. Yo. And you don't stop.
Oh, this fool is tripping.
The presses, guess who's back? It's the fat fly brother, lover of all. Call me Dose Pies, the peaceful one, the soul swinger. I check you lingering in the back, busting the track. Black fact is my rhymes don't cease. Peace ain't done. 94, I'm a score, I'm a pour. Lyrics like water, slaughtering devils like a sergeant. I ranks high, sharpest banks, thanks be to God. Ollie, brothers been swearing we fell. Hell, better Gotta tell your local pastor we're swinging faster than Benny Hinn, blowing on your chin, brown skin, Puerto Rican speaking in that rhyming tongue. Young brothers bob your heads twisted, dreads as I rock the rhyme I wrote with lead. Yeah, I'm the leader of the crew. Don't you know what up? Question mark. Park yourself and listen to the joint. Exclamation point is we can rock all day, all doggone night. We got sight, cause we got a vision, we got a mission. Listen, we're soldiers from the dust, and if it's a must, which it is, we take our biz to dawn and rock on and on.
From dusk to dawn.
Rock on and on.
From dusk to dawn.
Rock on and on.
From dusk to dawn.
Rock on, we gotta rock on. 7 years ago, a friend of mine hit me up and asked me if I knew the time, and I just stepped back. I was about to say, but boy, I stepped strong and said, yo, get out my way. I don't play no games, so don't call me Sega. Yeah, I sing, but I'm not related to Susie Vega. I gave her caught in a land, and some stores we got banned. Straight pulled off the shelf, shorter than enough, but it's time to go. Don't you know I've been fed, watered on my head, and I got the sun that bled. I'm covered in the Omni, upon me is a soul. You're gonna need 50 bowls of Wheaties to get with these rhymes, cause I'm in my prime, and I'm going for mine like Diamond D. The freedom be some soulful cats. No bull crap, but holy cow, what's the haps? I be a Puerto Rican, so I never catch naps. Even Cap the Hook got to give him hand claps when the pen hits the paper. Many run for the covers, cause we smother other crews from the dust, and we got to rock on. We rock on.
From dusk to dawn.
We rock on.
Yeah, from dusk to dawn.
We rock on and on.
From dusk to dawn.
We rock 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 on and on till the break of dawn. I said it when I came through the door. I be rocking all night till the day. Strictly for the ministry and not for the pay. Kicking it with Ray-Bans in the light, but in the night I cruise, I pay dues, so I use experience. Not for past tense, but for the future, cause I got it. At least that's the way the words say. I pray, I fast, I say since way back, rhymes stack high. Substitute the fact I don't like, I wonder why. My rhymes get them hype, pipes get grab only when we smash. Crash the studios if I have to. I love hip-hop, I love the wop, and I won't stop. Purity, dropping mad flavor, lasting forever, cause my Savior got the mad behavior. I shake my head, boy, cause I'm poor. Know the Holy Ghost, well, I don't need the boast. Like toast, slightly brown, the underground sound that I found the music be my life, and my life is sounding good. If you don't understand, I wish you could. You wish upon a star, real foreign, Diamond Bar, Corona, Del Mar, the Brea Tar Pits, oh shucks. We rock on, yeah, we rock on, baby. Rock on, from dusk to dawn, baby. Rock on, from dusk to dawn, baby. Rock on, from dusk to dawn, from dusk to dawn, yo, we rock on.
Rock on, rock on, rock on. Rock on, rock on.
I just recently went back for the last podcast and played a little bit of the album, The Second Coming. That's just a classic album. I actually had somebody approach me that had no clue as to who Freedom of Soul was, but just off of the little snippet that I had played on our last podcast, came to me saying, man, could you tell me who this artist is? Because this stuff still stands the test of time.
Right.
Freedom of Soul was one. And like I said, still to this day, when I go back and listen to it, it still holds up.
So you would consider them timeless, made timeless music?
Yeah, they were definitely timeless.
Yeah.
When you listen, it wasn't like you didn't even know what era they came up in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so one of the things for me in the back, my background was due to the fact that my parents were really on us, me and my brother, to make sure that we listened to music that was right. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul was some of the only groups that really didn't curse a whole lot. Mm-hmm. They didn't have no explicit content on the front of their tapes, so it was a little bit more embraced in my household. So when my parents seen it, it was like, at that time, everybody was looking for the sticker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if the sticker had it on, it was like, no. So it was a lot of times that Tribe would just cut out the cuss words just so they wouldn't get the sticker. So what ended up happening, though, was I started to enjoy that style of MCing better than anything else. So I wasn't gravitating towards gangster rap because it was like my house was very, very strict as to what I could listen to and what I couldn't. So Freedom of Soul fell right there in that niche of creating that kind of timeless type of music. And if you play that, along with Low End Theory, any of the other UMCs, a lot of these other secular artists, they held their own. So from there, since by this time I was really serious about the things of God, And I was hearing consistently that you're not to listen to secular music. So, for those that aren't Christians, secular just means anything opposite of God, being spoken. So, for me, as I started to really search out, going to these Christian bookstores and looking at covers, there was this one dude named E-Rock. He was on the cover. Had a skeleton, and he in one of the eyes yelling, "Ah!" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he was cool, but it was one guy, Soup the Chemist.
Yes.
Now I remember that name.
Soup the Chemist, man. I really, really felt his style, his ability to rap. To me, it was like he could have easily been a secular artist just with what his wordplay and everything. But for me, I really took pride in the fact that he chose to do it for the Lord. So Soup was in a group at this particular time before he started dropping all his regular CDs, and it was called SFC. So the thing about SFC kind of opened it up for all of these other artists that I ended up really enjoying.
Tell us what SFC stand for.
Soldiers for Christ.
All right.
Beating them down with the verb and the nouns, which is my desire. Smashing the liar, been through the fire, tried and tested. Came up with a vision, God blessed it. Rolled to the studio, rap mixed and pressed it. Positivity was manifested. You bought the tape, cause you're interested. If you're down with Christ, then you should neglect it. Never doing error, but it got deflected. People get to say that I show respect, cause we come with the word that's fools to the wise. Intelligent human being who swears that he's seeing, but really ain't seeing jack. First Corinthians 1 verse 23. So get the heck off me. If you won't come correct, then break. You know the verdict. Stare on the 2-inch tape. B.I.D. they put zero on tape. Dynamic twins put zero on tape. Freedom of souls put zero on tape. Idol kings put zero on tape. The X, the L put zero on tape. MVPs put zero on tape. DC Talks put zero on tape. Alliance Alliance put zero on tape. System 3 put zero on tape. Transformation Crews put zero on tape. The DOCs put zero on tape. JC and the boys put zero on tape. JC Crews put zero on tape. ETW put zero on tape.
And so SFC had another guy that was the producer. So I really liked, number one, I love Soup the Chemist, but then I love the beats. You know what I'm saying? The beats really got me because they were kind of like a mix to me, and I'm going off of memory, you know, but it was like a mix between like that boom bap, but also like that Public Enemy type of, you know, like militant sound. Yeah. And I love samples and the little flips and how they, you know, add all of those different sounds in together. That's what everybody always said, the exact same thing. So, but again, I was shaped by my parents' strictness as to what they wanted me to listen to. Gotcha. So due to the fact that East Coast was a little bit more cleaner during that period of time, which is probably one of the reasons why West Coast took over, because everybody liked the vulgarity. It was, you know, it was edgy. They was like, man, I can't believe you saying that, because the East Coast really wasn't, you know, talking like that. So that's the reason why it kind of really shaped mine, you know, except for Akinelli, people like that. But I'm saying, like, you know. So SFC, once I started really, really paying attention to, you know, like the liner notes on the inside. So I would always be like, man, I don't know who produced that, who did this, right? So that's when I was found out, like, oh, that's Soup the Chemist. Like, I really like him. But then I was like, who's DJ Dub? You know what I'm saying? And DJ Dub was the one that was doing, you know, all of the beats. And I really, really gravitated towards, you know, his production. So at this time, DJ Dub parted with SFC, and then he started a new group. So I guess coming in with just the whole what was going on the West Coast, and, you know, like NWA, and, you know, and then it went to Dr. Dre, and then by this time it was Ice Cube, and all of them started to develop. Then just this whole street aspect of gospel started to, you know, you know, just kind of dominate, really. And that's when the Gospel Gangsters, DJ Dub started the Gospel Gangsters. They had an album called Gang Affiliated. And that mug was like, the album was revolutionary for me, because I was able to play and finally, you know, hear about all the street life stuff. Not stuff that I hadn't seen, but it was like, it's different when you see it all the time, and then you don't necessarily want to go and listen to it unless you're engaged in that lifestyle. But this one, it still had that edge, but at the same time, it was still Christ-centered.
So they were more like Christian street reporters, because, you know, the concept of NWA was the idea of reporting what was happening on the streets. Many times people think they were the actual ones doing it. Not that they weren't doing it, but
I mean, exactly.
But in the concept, it was to report what was happening.
They were like the Christian Ice Cubes, right? Because he was very, very enlightened, knowing exactly what was going on in the inner city. But at the same time, we knew that he was 5% or a Nation of Islam. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, it was like these were actually Christian guys that got what was going on. So a lot of what I was hearing was what I was seeing. And, you know, and just that marrying of the two sides was captivating to me during that period of time.
With my intro, a young brother from South Central, snatched out of gangs. Let me break you off my info. A young criminal got in contact with the spiritual a couple of years ago, but you don't hear me though. Christ came alive and the old me got smoked. He broke all the yokes and I'm still low. I know it's tricky seeing the Christian bell and dickies, but I never stopped banging. Just changed my gang and I got a stomp in my gangster boots, cause the boys in the hood wouldn't hear me in a silk suit. No lights, okay, just give me some action with the fat groove. My solo group's like a thief on a jack move. What's the information on my gang affiliation? My Bible's in my waist and there's no colors on the brother, cause my rag's gone, but I'm still late, so I gotta get my sag on. So don't trip when you see me in a pulpit. It's like I'm fat with a Mazak and a full clip. I pull quick when God anoints, and if my Bible's a gun, you get them verses like a hollow point. Cause Mr. Solo's in the house with that gangster walk. That's how the gangster start, tis talking gangster talk. Cause as a youngster in LA being brought up, doing anything thought up, cause I was caught up like a rapture. Note that my mind was fractured, cause the system and the ways of my neighborhood was backwards. They call me cool when I blasted a 380. Then Jesus saved me, now they call me crazy, but I'm smarter. I come a little harder, pack a 9 for those thinking of making me a martyr. Me wrestle against the flesh, I'm not saying that, but running up on me, devil, I ain't playing that. You heard about my crew and dropped the clown, but forget the tapes, I'm in your face, so now what? I'm mine.
And it's all like this, cause when I spit it like a brick and I stone you quick. I get skilled, cause you
out trying to check a true. I thought I had the back when I heard you rap, but the gangster bring the gospel, so the words must strap. I pray day and night when I'm in the cut, but I'm sick of brothers fight trying to hit me up. No fear here, low, so come real with me, cause even if I was a chick, you couldn't deal with me. So come chill with me. Chilly, chilly, steady chillin', fulfilling God's will like a Florida orange cat, steady peeling with the word that you heard. My body's like a Mark's bird, and by the damage that it carried by the young G, now to the cross G. I once was a lost number, now just a film, now so now what I'm up.
On the creep, y'all peeps how I roll. Not for the lack of the slaps for your soul. I flow it well, cause I'll never win a show and tell. I'll be the blood that never fails, never go to hell. Day and night I'm in this gangsta life. I got caught on a crash, now it's showing on sight. TikTok is my name and my claim to fame. Living holy is a change, but I'm still the same. I'm a young G, following the OG. The father building up blood speak, so we flow deep. It's the maniac psycho, lunatic loco, filled with truth. Show peep game on my vocals. I got the devil in a chokehold from all night grip, and I didn't have to pop no-dos. I'm not a whip, you never catch a hooligan flip, cause I walk by faith with a gangster limp. So don't attack man, cause I pack man, then I chomp em and stomp em. How to come low, cause I'm ready to slack up, beat the track up, and for those who wanna act
God
up.
bless us, better back up, why the gangster bring the gospel to the funk groove. I can't turn my back on Christ, that's the punk move. I got to come at y'all real, I couldn't compromise and tell you lies for a record deal. Now I'm toward the world without the girls and they tails out. Still packing G's and we didn't have to sell out. And just like you can't get me for my Louis or my Gucci. Never can catch me through the youth that don't touch none of these hoochies. I know it's kinda hard to bear this, but the girls on my back and all my jock is on my prayer list. So don't fuss with the lust on your belly, catch a shake to the gut. I'm out the cut, my crew is straight mobbing. Yeah, you know that. I know fake was a fight, so I'm scrapping and squabbing. And I heard it was a walk, so my whole crew is mobbing. No beach, no cities, but my whole crew is strictly G. Sucks, that's who we trust.
So yeah, it was gang affiliated. I think towards once they ended up signing with Kurt Franklin, is usually when I kind of was like,
I didn't know they signed with him. I saw
they
them
had
affiliated.
this one song where they was on the I'll be good.
Yeah, I remember
they
that.
on the boats. Yeah, I was kind of like, this is getting a little. This ain't as hard.
It ain't as gangster.
It ain't as gangster. Y'all on boats.
Y'all ain't gospel gangster.
So but at the same time, man, that gang affiliate, man, gang affiliated. If I go and play gang affiliated right now, I guarantee you that for that time, it'll hold weight. It definitely will hold weight. Now, as time progressed, sometimes when you meet, when you listen to music and you become a fan of a certain artist, the mentality and mindset is, man, I would love to meet those guys.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you want to be a gangster.
No. I never was that. It was probably after I met them that I was like, man, I don't never want to meet anybody that I really, really enjoy, because it would possibly tarnish, the message, because I didn't want the message to get lost in attitude or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I had an opportunity, because this is a ongoing conversation that we have in private in reference to why I don't ever want to say nothing about the gospel gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time,
this is DeAndre Burns talking.
Right.
Here we go.
It's not Kevin King.
Not Zach Diesel. Keep my name out your mouth.
So I got to a point where I was pretty known locally in California. So, the way it is in California is like sooner or later you're going to cross paths with people if they're from California. It's just going to happen. Mm-hmm. So either you're going to open up for them, like I've opened up for Kurt Franklin before. I've opened up for Rodney Jerkins, Trinity, 5-7. There's a lot of different ones with the group that I used to be with. And but by this time I was solo, and there was I had an opportunity to do a show, and it had this lady by the name of Tiffany Lang, who I did a feature on her album, and it was me, and then it was Gospel Gangsters, and it was like my first time ever meeting and getting a chance to meet them. So it was a sound check, and I'm like I always am, I'm like giddy, like, hey man, like, hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm really, and it was just like the way they came at me was like I was just, like a nigga from the hood, like that was trying to come to do them harm, and I'm like, man, like, okay, so you get this, this is what they call a scarf hand. Shout out to, RIP to Combat Jack. He used to use this term called a scarf hand, where he's like, you kind of half shake somebody's hand, but you don't, just like, yeah, whatever, like, get out of my face. So I was just like, man.
But that's synonymous with, at least what I've noticed, or what I've heard, should I say, that sometimes artists can be that way towards each other. Not on purpose, not intentionally, but just absent-mindedly meeting someone, just, hey, whatever,
but you'll never hear that story be regurgitated back to how I treated people. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just, so everybody does things.
You gotta work at it, make sure you don't do it.
Everybody's different.
I mean, I've never met him, so I'm just
so I went on up, so just some of the behavior that I just was like, man, okay. And then my group, well, at this time I had a like a little band, background singers, and we all did our thing. So, some of our, my two background singers was just saying they didn't feel comfortable because of the way they were being, kind of looked at.
They were too gangsters.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know nothing about their, their background or anything. Not taking anything away from them. It was just during that particular time where I got a chance to, I just had my expectations were a little bit, maybe it was too high. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, it says, we know in the word, it says all sin falls short of the glory of God. I know that I didn't probably at times and said or did something that was, inappropriate in my walk or in my life. So
shout out to Romans 3:23.
Yeah, Romans 3:23. So with all that being said, this might have been a time where, they just probably wasn't, being conscious of what was going on, or maybe they don't even remember. So, I don't want to make it seem like it's just a thing. But in the very, very beginning, I really, really like Gospel Gangsters and gang affiliated, man. Like between that Idol King, I said I played almost to the tape pop, to, SFC that I still got their tape to this day. Gospel Gangsters, gang affiliated, like that was it. And I thought Solo was one of the best rappers at that particular time that had ever rapped gospel rap. So
that's a serious compliment too.
So they like I said, I really held them in high esteem, man. They were really, really great MCs, and they did a lot for the kingdom. So shout out to them.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
All right, so you, sir, Zach, what was your favorite and why? Were they your favorites?
When we talked last time on the podcast, we talked about I think we called it CHH at the time, gospel rap.
Well, it was CHH for you, because
what was interesting is
Holy Hip Hop for you.
It was Holy Hip Hop for me, but I remember growing up, I had different family that would try to put me on, and they'll just call it gospel rap. So I called it gospel rap for a long time before I ever started calling it something else. And then it was Holy Hip Hop, because I think Cross Movement kind of coined the term. Maybe not them, but that's where I heard them say it more.
They did have that CD, which was one of
they had an album.
Holy Culture.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And for me, Soulless Christian Project was the first album I heard as a Christian.
Who was that?
Shaolin.
Okay.
But when I heard Shaolin, it made me look more into Timothy Brindle. They used to do the Vessels of Mercy. I think that's what it was called. And they with lamp mode recording.
Yeah.
And I kind of listened to both of them, kind of back and forth. And I think they had a song called, I don't know what it was called, but it was Christian versus Sin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battle of the century, y'all. We got Sin over here on my right hand side.
We got the Christian. We got the Christian on the left-hand side. Hey, wait. We got DJ Essence on the ones and twos. Hey, and this is what I need. I need both MCs. Get in your corners. I want you to come out spitting your hardest. 24 bars apiece. Let's get busy.
Yeah. It's over for you, Christian. You want to battle sin? Check this out. Because of me, the creation groans. I've taken the throne. Humans, a race of drones, slaves that I own. I caused the fall of two races, angels and humans. To mangles my blueprint, you'll all have blue faces. I take your breath, you can't withstand the strength of my swift hand in quicksand. Death is my hitman. In history coming out the pages, throughout the ages. I left y'all pouting in cages. Who can doubt my wages? The basics, we know well. People fell. If I did not exist, there would be no hell. No jail or prison, large-scale division, stale religion, sales of ism. Wailing Christians, disease, gossip, homicide, evil policies, deceit, malice, folly, pride, greed, idolatry, homosexuality, sexual immorality, impurity, rivalry, sorcery, sensuality, and that's just a small list. I cause all this. The moral is there's no morals. I make you live lawless. I'm stronger than the devil. Legions of steaming, screaming demons don't even belong on my level. Who on a test? I keep you under stress. None can rest. Without me, the wrath of God is left unexpressed. I methodize my madness, yet you frequently indecently sleep on me. Recognize my status.
Alright, y'all, look. Hey, we gonna let Christians say something. If you got something to say, let your thoughts be known as it spin it back.
Come on, believers. I'm not gonna even battle him. I'll let Jesus battle him through me. Come on. Yeah. The word of God be my machete. You talk a whole lot of smack for being defeated already. Think you got maneuvers? You already lost at the cross, and I don't talk to losers. You lost when your cost was paid. Since Christ rolled the rock away, I am a slave. Unlike unbelievers, I'm a lot different. I'm empowered by the Spirit who's omnipotent. So any hour you'll be through. You're stronger than Satan, but the Spirit's more powerful than you. Cause Christ is in me, Jesus, son. It's like you're fighting a rocket launcher with a BB gun. Forget me, I'm a scripture packer. So I fight with nuclear bombs, you're a whippersnapper. The servant's a vet of murder and death. I'm a Christian who's into killing the works of the flesh. Call it killing for a righteous cause. You don't reign on my body, dog, Christ is boss. Think I'm nice and soft like a cloth, but if you make my hand sin, I'll slice it off. To hacked and severed nerves, you're infinitely disgusting for lack of better words. Worse than backwash of Sasquatch, you're uglier than Jason Voorhees with his mask off.
Hey, look! Hey, check it! Wait a second! Wait a second! Alright, y'all, look. We can't leave it at one round. If you want a round two, say round two. Round two. Alright, y'all, come out 8 bars apiece. Come out spitting.
Believers, let's kill sin. Yeah, yes indeed. Christ Jesus. He gave us the victory, y'all. Come on, check it out now. I was sin slave as a child, but now that I'm saved, it's like there's tape on his mouth. Your lust is raunchy, you stink like musty laundry. Christ took my guilt, so you got nothing on me. Sin, it's you who I despise and loathe, more than a slimy toad or a grimy mold. My eyes behold how you're a giant load of something I'd find inside my commode.
Okay. Something you find inside your commode, huh? Okay, look. Appreciate the compliment, thank you kindly. You claim to hate me rightly, yet you date me nightly. Rookie, you're my slave. If I stink, I guess I smell like your corpse after I put you in your grave. Why you wanna grab mics when you lack might? Oh, that's right. By the way, where were you last night? Gotta hand it to you, brother. You actually battling me. I got other Christian MCs battling each other.
Hey, no shots below the belt. No shots. Hey, yo. Hey, look. We gonna do, matter of fact, round 2 need a bonus. 8 bars.
Come on, Christians. Yeah. Where was I last night, huh? Where was I last night? Let me think about that real quick. Sin, stop it with the lies. Where was I last night? I was in the spirit plotting your demise. With my tougher nature, I'ma suffocate you. Plus I hate you. You're nothing since the Father crushed the Savior. Put me in my tombstone, but that's a favor to me, cause I'll be in heaven, my true home. You plan to tempt me, but your scam is empty, cause even if I do fall, you can't condemn me. The cross, the cross.
Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, hey, hey, everybody go. Hey, hey, yo, calm down. I said calm down. Hey, 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 hey. It's ain't over. It's not over. Yo, I need one more verse. Yo, Sin, you gotta do your thing, fam. Alright? Here you go.
That's real and true, but what are you willing to do? Cause if you ain't killing me, then I must be killing you. And that's apparent, clown. The other day this guy was sinning in the very shorts that he's wearing now. I'm closer to you than black people in melanin. I crush you like the bones that you find in gelatin. So you can yell and grin, just tell him when you fell again. Sin fella indwelling Tim like a skeleton.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, Sin, you know you did your thing or whatever. Hey, yo, Christian, are you ready? Hey, yo. Hey, you just went. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry, you just went. Hey, look, Christian. Yo. What? Switch it back up. You trying to get another? Let him go first. Let him go. Let him go first? All right. Look, Sin. All right, here you go. And then we're going to finish him.
That's all right. Y'all can hate on Sin all you want. You okay? What's good? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Check it out. The funny thing about this battle is, even if you win, I'll make you get prideful and lead you into sin. Again, the statements you make are paper thin. I'm greater than even your great awakening. You're quick with the chatter, I'm tickled with laughter. The church is slipping faster, I'm crippling pastors. Cause I'm Sin, I slay rivals. He'll defeat me after the Clippers win an NBA title.
Hey, get off my mic like that. Hey, Christian, don't prove yourself, man.
Let's finish him. Sin, you're pathetic, dude. I'm having trouble hearing what you're saying. Oh, cause I'm dead to you. So I don't have to listen to all that trash you're spitting. Cause I know all your tricks like you're a bad magician. The joy you give's a fake dud. After tasting Christ, you don't satisfy my taste buds. So please, would you break out? Cause I'm not hungry for you like vegans in a steakhouse. Islam is easy to beat. I'm way more attracted to Christ, you're no longer pleasing to me. You're trifling ugly, but Christ is lovely. Not to mention his righteous life covers me. The scum should beat it. Fighting me means to fight in Christ who's undefeated. You're still talking but you're dead. Bring the word of God, my sword, off with your head.
Oh! Hey, yo! Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a second. Hey, ain't none of that chanting in here. Wait a second. Look, we gotta find out who won this thing. Now, how many of y'all, hey, how many of y'all think Sin won? Make some noise if you thought he won. Hey, brother. Hey, Sin, stop being so prideful. Now, how many of y'all think that the Christian won via Jesus Christ? Hey, y'all. I ain't even gotta say no more. Good night, y'all. Yeah. Champion? Who's undisputed? What's his name, y'all?
I love Jesus.
And it was like as if they were like going back and forth rapping, freestyle battle. And the Christian naturally won, but it wasn't like a cheesy win. It was like a legitimate, like hands down, like. And Sin put up a good fight. Charlene was Sin, Timothy Brenner was Christian, and it was a good, it was a good knockdown at the end. But
now, whose CD was that on?
That was on Timothy Brenner's. I think it might have been on Killing Sin.
Killing Sin, okay.
Because I only had 2 of his albums. That was Killing Sin and Great Awakening. But the 2 albums I had, and then he took like a break, and then came back a couple years later, many years later. I think he putting out music now. But when I heard that, I was hooked. I was like, man, this is insane. And then Timothy Brindle, you know how you were talking about Kevin earlier. He, in my opinion, just unadulterated truth. Like he ain't hold no punches. Right. I think he describes Sin as excrement covered in whipped cream.
Ooh.
And
now what's excrement for those of the who don't know?
That's
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo. There you go. Doo. I was trying to find the best word.
Dookie. Remember they used to call it
Dookie? He spit a line and I was like, ooh, like it gave me like maybe stank face because you realize like, ooh, that is really bad.
You sitting there eating that.
Yeah, like
the first bite into it sounded good until you actually
realize what it is. And he was like, he even said that, I think even in the song,
it's
he
like
said
that pie on the hilt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
That's exactly what that was.
See?
She had that
they must have been listening to Timothy Brindle.
She had something.
Oh. Timothy Brindle needed his credits because he said it first.
Yeah. And he said, sin is like excrement covered in whipped cream, but we know it's sick scheme. And I was just like, the wordplay was real nice, and it really just kind of drew me in from there.
Is Timothy Brindle
white dude?
No, I mean I know. I'm just saying, is he underrated? Because I don't hear I don't hear him being talked about that much.
So what happened is back in like 2000 and 2003, that spread. He dropped like 2 albums, and then after he dropped those 2 albums, he took a break from just doing ministry and stuff like that, and then he came back like years later. But in this, I mean. And this is around the time, like, you didn't have, like, a lot of, it was, in my mind, he made a lot of controversy because he was a white artist, but he was good.
Yeah.
And, in hip-hop in general, it's kind of like sports. At one time, you always just thought it was a black man's sport, just be completely honest. But he was good, and he had mad talent. And so when he stepped away, I was kind of disappointed, and that's when I started listening to Charlene a lot more. But honestly, after he stepped away, I kind of pulled away I listened to a couple more albums after that from Charlene, and then I heard The Truth, and that just kind of took flight for me there.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah, it's good to see y'all, definitely. If that don't mind, we just gonna get it on for Jesus. So make it happen. That all right? Woo! Yeah. Just move, come on, just move, just move, yeah. Everybody in the building. We fight for the faith like Roberto Duran and catch us moving around as we further advance the kingdom of God. Hope your heart is fertile to plant. We pray the Lord of the harvest keep sending us out because we cannot afford to just sit in the house and sit on the couch playing video games in our rooms. We follow hard after God until we lay in our tombs. You know it alienated like first century saints. Soon as they would enter the gates of a new city, the news would begin to engage. Many who hated Christians who are committed to defending the faith. Yes, just look at plenty to crave, plenty of crave.
they sow in the lives of millions of listeners, listening, hoping that I would paint a prettier picture, blowing smoke in their eyes. But nah, God's got emotions, can't hold them inside. He's using his people to speak the truth in the midst of a people who are godless and just barely religious, not at all godly and Christ-like. Lord Jesus, just keep shining your bright light in and through us. Get ahead and wear your beautiful feet. There's a mutual beef between you and the seed of Satan himself. Wicked men that you replace you with wealth. Wish you would stay to yourself, but you're using us to build a case for yourself. We on a roll now, baby. No ain't no rolls now. Who's in control now? Jesus, he came to everything's not the same now. This nigga changed blood, didn't that rhyme in it to stay now. We on a roll now, baby. No ain't no rolls now. Who's in control now? Jesus, he came to everything's not the same now. This nigga changed blood, didn't that rhyme in it to stay now. How many people here have ever seen American Idol? Of course, money, power, or sex of America's idols, yo. You can find this in America's Bible, yo. America's dying, America's idol. America's rival is not merely Osama or other terrorist eyes. If America's rival is in the America's fighting. Front of our hearts, front if you want. But some of our hearts are dark, y'all. As black as the night. You can tell because we happen to like stuff that happens at night. Prefer it all rather than practice it's right. We don't want to see videos unless some booty is in it. And don't want to see movies unless we know nudity's in it. Yo, there's evidence to prove that we're sinners and need a savior. As sure as a bad who need a dentist to cure. Praise God for the proof is invented and that globally people can hear what God's truth is presented to cure. Through this medium of music with Christians who refuse to be wimpish when persecution is mentioned to cure. Cause we live if we die for the king. Hip hop and the gospel, baby, that's a dynamic team. We on a roll now, baby. Throwing the rolls now. Who's in control now? Jesus, he came to everything's not the same now. This nigga changed blood, didn't that rhyme in it to stay now. We on a roll now, baby. Throwing the rolls now. Who's in control now? Jesus, he came to everything's not the same now. This nigga changed blood, didn't that rhyme in it to stay now. Let's go.
The Truth I thought was relevant, a dope artist.
Yeah.
Boy had like mad. To me, he was like he knew how to deliver and keep your attention. And
he was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yes.
From an artist.
Yes.
During that time.
High energy. I went to one of his shows on a college campus, and it was amazing. Like, bro, I was just like. And then, you know, how you talk about meeting artists. I've had both experiences. I had met an artist, two big artists, The Truth being the one that I had a great experience with, and another big artist and not so great experience. Like,
who's the artist?
I'm not gonna say.
You ain't gonna say?
You can't, man. I get thrown all up under the bus.
Gospel gangsters out now. Who was it?
It wasn't.
You don't want to tell us?
I don't want to say it because it wasn't. The experience you had, it wasn't the same thing. It was just kind of like I called his name. He turned around. I said, "Yo, man, my wife's a big fan. Can you?" Not of him necessarily, but of another artist with his crew. Could you just get him signed it because she wasn't able to make it tonight?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, he gonna be out." But the way he said it was kind of like, "Man, you a grown man asking for another man autograph." But I'm like, "Man, dude, I'm like legitimate. Like my wife wasn't able to make." Yeah, he was treating me like a groupie. And this was early in my Christian walk too. Yeah. So I feel like, man, did he just treat me like I was being a groupie?
Yeah.
Like I only had one groupie experience that I can recall.
Who was that?
I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But when I was in Atlanta, I met Charlene. Okay. And I was just like, yo, that dude is like, he's got talent. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go introduce myself. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Yeah. And I think I walked up to him and told him who I was, and like, I think I said Zoe discipled me, and reference like Zoe Terrence or something like that. And he was like, yeah, man, I know him. And we had this great conversation. Yeah. And he set the standard really high for me on what I expected from artists.
What's up, man?
And as I was saying earlier, just in conversation off mic, I was saying that I've met quite a few celebrities, and my experience has always been really great with celebrities. From meeting 8Ball to Flow Tree. I've never met any Christian artists prior to this. And so when I met Charlene, my standard was even higher. And then when I met this other artist, I just gave him a pass, like maybe he had a bad day or something. It was after the concert, he might have been tired or something. But I ain't gonna lie, I was a little salty. Like, And I just like, man, whatever. I'm gonna just, get my wife this album and go home.
Yeah. Now that you saying this, I can almost give you a top 5 on both sides. Like my top 5 Christian artists that I met, and they were really, really nice. And then my top 5 who was just, stank. Like I only have. I've only met like 3. I met quite a few, but I've only had one bad experience. Shout out your boy Thizzle. I mean, I met him and he was like, I felt like I was kicking it with the homie. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, you this real? Like you this cool?
I had the same experience with Thizzle. Quite naturally because of the type of music he made.
Right.
People in our community gravitated more towards his music. So I remember hitting up shows like, yo, man, do you have Thizzle's number? And he gave it to me because I remember I had a CD and dude down the street took the CD and I bought it online, but I burnt one copy. Dude down the street was like, yo, I'm feeling this. And
you bootlegging the man? Nah, I'm just messing with you.
And so I burned another copy and then somebody else.
He responded really well too.
Yeah, so I called him because I felt bad because I'm like, man, I want to support these dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I called him, I said, look, man, I need to get some CDs from you, but I also need to pay for 2 that I burned and gave away.
Yeah.
He laughed, man. We probably must have talked on the phone for about an hour. And after that hour, at the end, we had a great conversation just about what our heart and passion was and what we thought the heart of gospel was in the communities that we were living in and serving in at the time, or really now. And so he was like, yo, Kev, don't worry about those 2. And he said, matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a box of CDs. Man, that joker sent me a whole box, like a 30 CDs, and we was passing them out in the hood. Back then, we were teaching a Bible study at a local barbershop across the street from where I worked, and we was literally giving out his CDs and like using some of his songs to do Bible study with, based on the content in it, because it was so relevant to where we were. And I think since then, he and I have been really good friends, so that's been a pretty dope relationship to see over the years. He's been down here to perform, minister to our community and all of that.
And when them CDs came in, for some reason, I don't know why I was over there, but I was kicking it with you. And I remember you opening up the box.
Oh, for real?
Because it had candy in it.
Sure, it did?
I thought that was so cool that it came with candy. Like,
I don't remember that.
And maybe it wasn't CDs. I think it was CDs though.
No, it probably was.
And it had he was like, oh, that's just the thing they do. Like, they put candy. Like, I mean, I like candy, so I remember.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, correct me. But I'm pretty sure I remember that box.
You're not wrong. You like candy,
bro. If you remember,
yeah, I did ask you about some candy before we got here.
If you remember that, it probably was in there, bro. But that's not necessarily something that I actually remember. But about that, shout out to Thizzle for putting candy in the box of CDs.
Hey, shout out to Thizzle making good music.
Yeah.
Why they nailed your wrists? Denied you while they smacked your cheek. I held your legs while they nailed your feet. Yes, I did. That spot you had on the cross, it was hell for me. But thanks to you, it ain't no hell for me. What greater love than what to die for a friend? What greater way to show your love to a friend?
man. Oh yes, she did, mama. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. And we thank you, Lord. Oh yes, she did, mama. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. While I was sipping on gin, you already had atone for my sin, waiting to show it in your time and space. Now I'm redeemed through your saving grace, and I endure through your saving faith. Yes, I do. Love shown through an act so gory, but through the cross I can taste your glory. Through your spirit I can tell your story, and will rejoice when you come back for me. Whether I was physically there, I had a part in it. I watched the soldiers while they beat you back. I made the reed that bruised your skin. Guarded the tomb that they placed you in. Yes, I did. That spot you had on the cross, it was hell for me, but thanks to you, it ain't no hell for me. What greater way to show your love to a friend? No greater love than one to die for a friend. Amen. Oh yes, she did, mom. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. And we thank you, Lord. She did, mom. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. And we thank you, Lord. Oh yes, she did, mom. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. And we thank you, Lord. You got beat for me. Nails in your feet for me. Blood on the street for me, my Lord. You tasted death for me. Yes. You gave your last breath for me. Yes, you did. Denied yourself for me. Yes, you did. Laid in the tomb for me. Yes, you did. You rose up for me. Yes, you did. I wasn't physically there, but I had a part in it. I sold you out for wealth. Yes. Betrayed you trying to help myself. Yes, I did. Denied you trying to save myself. I turned my back and denied your help. Forgive me, Lord. But you still came and gave yourself. Yes, you did. What greater love than one to die for a friend? My Lord, he laid down and died for my sin. Man. Oh yes, she did, mom. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. Oh yes, she did, mom. Yeah. Oh yes, she did, man. And we thank you, Lord. And we thank you for your grace. And we thank you for your love. Hallelujah for your mercy.
I see he's still on social media doing. I mean, that's one man that can get a crowd hype.
Yeah.
I will say that.
And produce good music one after another. And got a heart for the hood, though. Because when he came, he was like, I remember we were riding with, I don't know where we were going, but I think we were riding from a show. And I was just so happened to be in the car. I don't know how I ended up making the list, but I appreciate it, Kevin.
Were you,
it's me, you, Thizzle, and somebody else.
Was I driving an Excursion?
Yeah, it was that big green or blue excursion.
Blue excursion. Yeah, some of our students that got in trouble that night.
Yes, I remember really that. Quiet. I wasn't gonna say nothing about that. Yeah, but it was an awkward ride home. I do remember that.
Yeah,
long ride home. I felt like I was in trouble.
Man,
but because I remember talking to him. On the way up there, I guess it was, because on the way back it was a quiet ride. And he was like, I asked him where he was staying and stuff, and he was like, man, I'm staying at Watch Park. I was like, for real? You in one hotel? And I was so encouraged that he was like, nah, man, take me to the hood. I'm ready to do life, life on life. And that was really encouraging that was really his demeanor and not just, sometimes even Christian artists, you hear them rap about it, but they don't live it. Right. The fact that he was living what he was rapping about was so encouraging.
Okay, so now I don't know Thizzle personally, but I think that it would be wrong to talk about him without bringing up the big part he played in St. Louis during the time when Mike Brown got kicked.
He played a huge part.
I watched his movement on social media, and to know that a Christian MC was that influential in his neighborhood, and he didn't just turn a blind eye and just go into his house. I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on, and if anybody know how Thizzle looks, if they shooting tear gas, they're not about to just say, "Oh, he looks like he's a Christian, nice guy. I'm not gonna shoot tear gas at him." He put himself in harm's way, just trying his hardest. So to invoke change in his community. So shout out to Thizzle, man. I don't know you, brother, but what you're doing is really, really great in St. Louis.
It's something that you don't know. Whenever the Mike Brown incident did happen, he was actually in Montgomery when it happened, doing
in the park.
What do we call it? City Alive.
Yeah, City Alive.
City Alive.
Right down from the park.
Right. I remember sitting in the front office, me, him, Jason, and a couple of other people were in there. And so I first heard about Ferguson through him because he had it on his phone because they had been posting about it. In his hometown. It hadn't hit national news yet.
Oh, wow.
So they was posting about it locally. And, he showed us what was happening on his phone, a lot of the posts that people had been making from his hometown. So he kind of got the sort of like around here. We hear stuff and it's in the community, but then we hear it on the news and it was like, man, we heard about that yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it was here. So I first heard about Mike Brown and Ferguson sitting in that front office after City Live one night.
Wow.
Looking at his cell phone. So
and that was the dopest concert I've been to in a long time.
Yeah.
City Live was. Man, it was great.
Yeah, we got to do the Oldheadz block party, first annual block party soon. So
yeah.
Okay, so look, this is I was looking this up when we were
and just to put a plug in, yo, I'm not saying it because I'm a part of it, but we know how to throw a good party. I'm City Alive when me and Nicole did our birthday party, bruh. I've been to some secular parties back in the day that wasn't this hype. I'm not playing like the Christians, the people that came and supported these different events, knew how to get down, knew how to have safe, fun parties. Everybody has fun. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, they are doing really well. And City Live, man, we started planning that a year out.
Yeah, so I remember going to the planning meetings.
We ain't missing beat.
No.
Yeah, so we got to bring that back.
Yeah.
We're going to have to raise some money to bring that back.
Yeah.
It costs about 10 grand.
Yeah, it costs. Hey, we do take donations.
We do take donations.
Tax deductible. We'll figure that out.
Donate through the King's Canvas.
There you go.
Look, I thought about something as we were talking. Actually, when I was had brought up the top 5, people you'd like to meet and not like to meet. I'm not about to bring this up, but I just thought it was interesting because while I was trying to look, trying to figure out this one person's name that I was going to just air out all the way for his disrespect to my wife. I won't do that yet. There'll be a teaser.
He said,
I might do it another time, but I won't do it yet.
Gotta call this messy heads.
Yeah, right. Man, you gonna make us walk around bodyguards.
But it made me
grumpy
think
old
about,
men.
it made me think about what label he was a part of. And when I looked it up, then I was like, man, this was a label that really did some great things, and I just felt like it deserved a shout out. And this is something that we might want to do, every so often. So when it comes to you, if it's a label that used to be, in operation but is no longer in operation, let's give them a shout out because they did a lot for the culture.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Kevin's face.
They did a lot for the culture, but at the same time, sometimes when they create a label and the label goes away, then it's almost like it's forgotten and nobody ever, speaks of them again.
That's true.
Later on down the road, I'll talk a little bit about Betty Rocket and BRX2. That was a label that I was signed to that is no longer in operation. Shout out to Philip. But the one that I was just looking up, I was like, man, they had some really, really good albums. Was Beat Mark recorded?
Yes, I remember Beat Mark.
So I'm just gonna read some of their catalog now.
Before your time.
Yeah, I was saying you took the words out of my mouth. I was like,
okay, so a couple of these albums, like I had to go. I went to what was the name of that? It was a place where you can get get music. And he went out of business. I'm gonna remember this guy's name because he's out of Detroit. And they had the bus stop.
Yes.
The bus stop.
But the bus stop turned into the South, right? Wasn't the bus stop?
No. The bus stop didn't turn the South. From what I understand, it did.
I thought it used to be the bus stop and then it turned into the South.com.
Now explain what the South.com is for those who may not know.
No, it wasn't. But yeah. No, it wasn't, but that's something we got to talk about. Okay. The South, we got to talk about the South.
Because people may know what like Rapzilla is, but not.
Shout out to Z, man. Yeah, the South was.
Okay.
Yeah,
South's still going, right?
No, the South.com is now. So we got to get, and I can get him. We got to get him the interview. We get with an interview with Z. Okay. But so we were talking about Beat Mart. So Beat Mart had. I ain't never heard of this group called the Shoguns. They was like the first ones. Came out in 2006.
Okay.
Rob Hodge.
Yeah, I do remember Rob Hodge.
Fresh Digress. I never heard of him.
I never heard of him either.
But wait a minute, maybe that's what I mean. Fresh Degrees. I never heard of it. It's a group. It was a group, and they had a self-titled.
I remember him.
You had Petty D, Thug Love was on there.
Yeah, I remember.
Right, Willie Will's a cool dude.
I remember him.
You got Eric Cross, The Art of Composition.
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, then you got Petty D again, Resurrections, Past, Present, and Future.
Now, Petty D was a trip, man. That joker used to show gold in his mouth, rims, and man.
That was before anybody.
I was about to say he's ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was really ahead of his time. This is Various Artists, Strength in Numbers. That was a good album. Defy Life.
Yep, I had that album.
Life was, man.
Wasn't he from Philly?
Yeah.
I had that album.
Defy Life. I got his very first album, and it was so tight. I think it would stand the test of time as well. You got Soul P. I don't know. From last time I heard, Soul P doesn't do Christian music anymore. Hopefully he's came back. The Premier, DJ Morphosis.
Yeah. But we used to call him DJ Morph. So we never called him Morphosis, but yeah.
DJ Morph. Wait a minute, this is DJ Morph.
That's DJ Morph.
They passed away. Who's that? Who passed away? Which DJ was that?
You talking
about Cross Movement?
No,
don't be killing nobody out, man.
No, I'm sorry. Oh man, that's so terrible.
We're gonna have to break this up. We can't add this part. You're gonna have to cut it and then go straight to
us saying his name.
Oh man, if you wanna,
I brought it up.
You mean DJ Official?
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Official, and here it is. Eternal Cypher, repping the Lord Jesus Christ to the fullest. It's going down, it's going down. Now first up to bat is my man.
God's not arbitrary, he's always got a rhyme and reason. He's sovereign, that's a divine line of reason. He's holy, you can catch the Shekinah breezing by whoever disses Christ and bow to Caesar. He's holy, man, the culture needs him. They can't define life apart from season. This opportunity to walk in freedom and exalt the King in his awesome kingdom. Don't put a quarter in a parking meter. Many walk in dark, they walk in leisure. But the people of God who were salt the seas and the earth until the church is off the season.
Illegitimate man, by my own works. But he came down from heaven and put his plow to the dirt. I church. I'm saved already, the walk is hard. Fall down, get up with costly scars. Jesus justified Jay, I'm not guilty. And he covers my sins, y'all, I'm so filthy. Gritty, grungy, God still loves me. Righteousness is the bread and I'm so hungry. Lord, give me some, bid me to come. Not my will, but let yours be done. I spit bars for the thugs and the cars and the drunks and the bars and the fakes and the flaws.
I'm here, I'm in it, not of it. Don't want it, don't covet it. I'm covered by the blood, broken hip, walk with the limp. God governed, even the rhyme uttered the signs of the times coming. Keep seeking lyrics, looking to find someone like surprise. Your back is that your kind of rap, the kind of rap that wraps around your mind is squeezed like when pythons attack. Me and my pythons is back. To die, Catalan is track with all these MCs, reasoned by like Freon on wax. It's free, y'all, no tax. What we came to offer, all Swinter urban arsonists plus flame came to spark y'all. Jay Silas is solid for God plus Todd bangs with the truth. When this unit makes movement, they blow the roof.
Yo, I spit for Jesus, live for Jesus, roll with a
a squad of believers, believing God is Jesus. And by his spirit we stay sharp as creases, darts and hypodermic needles, injecting the thoughts of Jesus. I walk with Jesus through the streets of Jersey City, praying God is with me, cause they don't walk with Jesus. They walk with heaters and spark the cheaper, quick to expire cats like parking meters. So I bring the noise like PE on my EP, not to be considered hip-hop's MVP, but still minister worldwide through mp3.com/BANGZ.
I live and die for the king of the universe. I spit it dudes to keep you in tune, cause I don't want you to hurt. Life is work and nothing is free but death, except the one who gave life its breath. So expect the one who gave life his breath to inspect your steps. But don't be mad if he says, who's next? You can't do it. In order to step to the level of next, you gotta be with the sun, escape the hot of the depth. He can put in perspective everything from right to left, top to bottom. If you got him, then you out of debt. Reject and you claim to set. So get prepped, cause this earth is the only heaven that you'll ever get.
That was fire. I mean, 5 MCs repping the Lord, and we still got 3 minutes left. Here he is, baby.
Supreme power of the cross, who paid the cost for all men to be able to escape sin's holocaust, and twisted the Corvinal report like revolving doors. That's what he was slaughtered for. It couldn't be us. We couldn't face the have. We run from grace, but Christ embraced the wrath. Yet it's like G said it, the streets are embedded with thieves with speech impediments who don't believe they're dead in sin. But I recommend the chief veteran Christ Jesus, the president of this fleet of regiments, who torch mics to the degree of the third. And you'll never hear us spit unless we're speaking his word.
Don't mean to bore you with math, and I'm sure you can add, but only Jesus plus 0 equals like all you get rad. I saw you in class. No way with that score you can pass. In this court you can bet that there's no way your lawyer could last. In fact, your lawyer needs a lawyer, cause your lawyer is bad. You're ignoring this sag, I better bring the cure for this fast. I could prove that God bruised across all of us bad. As the Jews, they used to have to slaughter a cat. There was a veil, but Christ's death tore it in half. No more wars, so we all are calling him dad. We saw in the past how he got raw with his staff. We thought about craft and make this God Lord of our rap.
I come to preach Christ, mean I bring the good news. I'm not from the old school like West Groove, but who would've knew these young dudes who used to be fools? Marveled by the wickedness of the world with no clues. Now taking up their cross and following Jesus' shoes. The price of this life, I consider it paying dues. A willing vessel that just wanna be used as a tool. I'm representing Jesus, my perspective is his use. Who said he wanted with losing much more red to choose? A life of death, short of breath, singing the blues. Like a toolkit with nails missing and screws. Your image is fine, but your integrity is
okay, let's do it. Drop the truth to it. Many want us to stop, we can't do it. Hot divine fluid comes with a hot design to lock more corners than a octagon. Oh, it's truest that will unlock your mind and uncock your nine and uncock your vine and unshine your shine and reshine your shine. Oh, you like to get drunk? Then we serve genuine, then we genuflect and bow at the neck. And in Jesus' name we be live and direct. When we're live on the set, we hope people can tell, cause all we wanna do is just represent the well. Represent the well. If you love it, then you got to represent the well. Represent the well.
DJ Official.
Yeah, from Cross Movement. I mean, from Reach Records.
Well, he's from Cross Movement first.
And then he went to Reach Records.
Matter of fact, on that first,
he did die.
On that original Holy Culture.
I'm glad you said it like that. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
he did die.
I mean, nah, I mean,
like one of them old ladies at church that was talking about all the people that died this week.
We're on the sick and shut.
You got to cut all that.
Cut all that.
Yeah.
But just lay them up on the memory sheet.
But DJ Morphosis,
cut that.
It's cool, brother.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I remember on, before you go back to Beat Mart, I remember DJ Official was on that original Holy Culture album cover. But now when you pull it up, it just has a generic Holy Culture album cover. I don't know why they stopped using that last one. But
because it was a picture of them. All of them, right.
Well, it wasn't even all of them. It wasn't the whole
It's a crew.
Movement. Maybe Enoch was gone at that time.
Because they had...
Rest in heaven, Enoch. But yeah, so...
Because Yeah, I remember that album cover.
Yeah.
I had that album.
Yeah.
But that's because I went back to try to check out those who were coming before me. I ain't going back as far as y'all.
Well, at least you went back, bro, because some of these jokers don't even go back.
Well,
that's what this show's all about.
Yeah,
you got to go back, man. You got to go back and
you
listen.
realize all this stuff we didn't say so far. And we didn't even touch what we talked about the last time.
Yeah,
right.
You got to go back.
Thanks for listening to Oldheadz Podcast, where legends get their airplay. Follow us on Facebook and send us comments on your favorite artists.